You will never be rich until you do this one thing. Napoleon Hill wisdom. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. Think and grow rich. You will never be rich until you do this one thing. What if I told you that the most important ingredient to your wealth, not just in terms of money, but in terms of your life, is not what you think? It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's not even who you know. It's something far more profound than that. It's something so simple yet so elusive that millions spend their entire lives searching for it, only to find that it was right in front of them the whole time. You will never be rich until you learn how to think. That's right. Think. But not in the way you've been taught, not in the way the world tells you to think. It's time to awaken the kind of thinking that opens the floodgates to success, to wealth, to greatness. The story of every great man who built something from nothing, think of Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Disney, they all understood this truth. They didn't just work hard. They didn't just hustle. They harnessed the power of their minds in a way that most people only dream of. What they had was clarity, belief, and an unshakable conviction that what they envisioned was not just possible, but inevitable. And they understood that this one thing, the way they thought, was the secret to everything. Let me ask you a question. What do you believe about yourself? More importantly, what do you believe about your ability to change your life? Because the truth is, the moment you truly understand the answer to that question, you unlock the doors to everything you've ever wanted. You see, belief is not a passive force. It is the spark that ignites action. Without it, nothing moves. But with it, everything becomes possible. It is this belief that pushes you beyond your limits, that propels you to do what others would never even consider. It's belief that turns setbacks into comebacks. It's belief that transforms obstacles into opportunities. But belief alone is not enough. You need clarity. You need vision. You need to see the path ahead of you so clearly that nothing, absolutely nothing, can divert you from it. Clarity in your goals, clarity in your purpose, clarity in your vision of the future. Without this clarity, you will wander aimlessly through life, reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. Ask yourself right now, do you know where you're going? Do you have a clear picture of what success looks like for you? Do you know what your life could be if you just stopped wandering and started walking with purpose? If not, that's where you need to begin. Clarity creates focus, and focus drives your actions. Without it, you're just drifting. When you are clear on what you want, every decision you make, every choice you take, becomes aligned with that vision. Everything you do moves you closer to your goal, and with that comes purpose, your internal compass, your reason for everything you do. Purpose fuels the fire. It's the force that makes you wake up every day with determination, the strength that pushes you through hard times, the vision that guides you when the road gets tough. Without purpose, you are like a ship lost at sea, drifting, searching, never knowing which way to turn. With purpose, however, you are the captain of your own ship, steering through the storm with confidence, knowing exactly where you're headed. But here's the truth no one tells you. Even the clearest vision, the most powerful belief, and the strongest sense of purpose, none of it matters unless you take action. Dreams are nothing but fantasy, unless they are backed by bold, relentless, and disciplined action. You cannot think your way to success. You have to do it. You have to be willing to sacrifice, to put in the work when no one is watching, to continue when the world tells you to stop. Look at the stories of the greats. They all faced setbacks, failures, and times when giving up seemed like the only option. But they didn't give in to those moments. They pressed on. They did not let fear, doubt, or uncertainty control them. They kept moving forward because they understood this one universal truth. In the game of success, the winners are the ones who are willing to keep going when everyone else quits. And the winners understand something even more profound. They understand that to win, you have to be adaptable. The road to success is never a straight line. It's filled with curves, detours, and unexpected obstacles. And only those who can adapt, who can see failure as a lesson rather than a defeat, will continue to climb higher and higher. This adaptability is not something you are born with. It is a learned skill. It's the ability to face adversity and change, to take what life throws at you and turn it into a stepping stone toward your goals. It's the flexibility to adjust your strategies when things aren't working, to change your mindset when things get tough. It's resilience. And that resilience, that ability to bounce back stronger each time, is what sets the successful apart from the rest. While others give up, you stand tall. While others break down, you rise up. Because you know something they don't. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from learning how to stand up each time you fall. But even then, resilience alone won't guarantee your success. You need the mindset that believes there is always something to learn, always room for growth. Never think you know it all, because the moment you do, the moment you stop learning, is the moment you stop growing. To be successful, you have to be a lifelong student of life. This is what makes the difference between the good and the great. The greats don't stop learning. They are constantly evolving, constantly expanding their knowledge, constantly growing. And it's this unrelenting pursuit of growth that pushes them further than anyone else. They read, they listen, they ask questions, they experiment, they fail, they learn, they adapt, and then they do it all over again. And in this journey of constant learning and unshakable resilience, there is one thing that fuels it all: gratitude. Gratitude is not just a feel-good concept, it is the foundation of abundance. It's easy to complain about what you don't have. It's easy to get frustrated by the roadblocks in your way. But true wealth, the kind that lasts, the kind that fills your soul, comes from a deep and unwavering sense of gratitude for where you are, what you've learned, and what you've been given. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It turns every challenge into a blessing, every setback into an opportunity. It's the secret weapon that transforms adversity into triumph. When you are grateful for everything you have, the universe has no choice but to give you more. So now that you understand what it takes, let me ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to think differently? Are you ready to believe in yourself with an unwavering conviction? Are you ready to take massive, bold action? To stay adaptable and resilient, to keep learning, and to stay grateful no matter what? If so, you are already on your way. But the truth is, most people never get this far. They give up before they see the rewards. They get discouraged when things don't go as planned. But not you. You are the one who will break through. You are the one who will rise above. You are the one who will create the life you've always dreamed of, because you have what it takes. Now, remember this. You will never be rich, in wealth, in happiness, in love, until you learn to master this one thing. You must learn to think differently, to believe, to see with clarity, to act with purpose, to be adaptable, resilient, and always learning. To stay grateful for the journey, no matter where it leads. And when you do, everything you desire will be yours. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep thinking, keep believing, keep growing, and keep moving forward. That is the secret to true wealth. Now let's go deeper. The world wants you to believe that success is about having the right connections, the right circumstances, or the right timing. It feeds you this illusion that wealth is something that just happens to the lucky few. It's a lie. Success is not about being lucky. It's about being prepared. Prepared to see the opportunities others miss. Prepared to act when the moment arrives. Prepared to make decisions when others hesitate. Prepared to keep your mind sharp, your body disciplined, and your heart open to the possibilities that surround you. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the creator of your own reality. The moment you accept that, everything changes. The moment you understand that you are not just a passive player in this world, that you can influence, that you can create, that you can shape your life, that's when the doors to wealth open. But here's the thing. True wealth is never about what you get. It's about who you become in the process. This is the hardest truth for most people to accept, but it's the one that will change your life. Think about it. The richest men in the world didn't just accumulate wealth. They became the kind of people who attracted wealth. They became men of vision, men of conviction, men of purpose, men who didn't just dream but did. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for approval. They didn't wait for the perfect time. They created the perfect time. So, if you're sitting around waiting for the world to hand you success, you're missing the point. You are the one who must step forward, create your opportunity, and then claim your reward. But becoming the person capable of achieving greatness requires more than just wishful thinking. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires doing the work when you don't feel like it. It requires waking up early, staying up late, pushing when you feel tired, and going further than you ever thought you could. It's not easy, but nothing worth having ever is. The discipline to keep pushing even when the odds are against you, even when the path is unclear, even when the world tells you it's too hard. That's the kind of discipline that leads to greatness. And this discipline comes from a deep, burning desire to be more than you are right now. It comes from the hunger to break free from mediocrity and build something truly extraordinary. What most people fail to realize is that discipline is a skill. It's not something you're born with. It's something you develop, step by step, day by day. It's the small things you do consistently that create massive change over time. It's the early mornings, the extra hours, the focus when others are distracted. These little moments, when stacked together, create a life that others only dream about. But even the most disciplined, action-oriented people sometimes lose their way. The world will test you. Life will push you to the brink. There will be days when you feel like giving up. And when those days come, you must remember this. The way to the top is never a straight line. Success is not a matter of avoiding failure, but of learning how to rise stronger every time you fall. The ability to bounce back from adversity is what separates the winners from the losers, and that's why resilience is so critical to your success. It's the belief that no matter how hard you fall, you can always rise. It's the understanding that failure is not the end, but simply a stepping stone on the path to victory. You see, wealth isn't just financial. It's emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical. It's about becoming wealthy in every part of your life. That's the kind of wealth that lasts, the kind that can't be taken from you. And it's a wealth that comes when you develop resilience, the ability to keep going no matter what. Every successful person has faced failure. Every successful person has felt doubt. But the ones who made it through didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. They used it as fuel to push them forward, to grow stronger, to evolve. And it's this evolution, this growth, that brings about real wealth. Not just money, but a wealth of experience, wisdom, and fulfillment. But what about the times when you just don't know what to do? What about those moments when you feel lost, uncertain, or overwhelmed? It's easy to get stuck. It's easy to give up when you don't have a clear map of where you're headed. But here's a secret. Sometimes you don't need the whole map. Sometimes you just need to take one step forward. Most people fail because they get paralyzed by the uncertainty. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect circumstances. But here's the truth. There is no such thing as perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The key is not waiting for the perfect moment. The key is taking action now, even when the road is unclear. The act of moving forward, even if it's just one step at a time, creates momentum. Momentum is what gets you through the tough days. It's what keeps you going when you're unsure. And once you start moving, the road becomes clearer. The path reveals itself. The next step shows up. And before you know it, you've crossed miles of ground, and you've built something powerful, something that could change your life forever. But the most important thing is to trust yourself. Trust that you have the wisdom, the power, and the determination to create your own path. Trust that no matter what obstacles come your way, you have what it takes to overcome them. Because the truth is, you were never meant to live a small life. You were meant for greatness. You were meant to make a massive impact. But greatness doesn't come from waiting. It comes from stepping up, showing up, and being willing to face whatever comes your way with courage and resilience. So ask yourself, are you ready to rise? Are you ready to take ownership of your life? Are you ready to harness the power of your mind, your belief, and your actions to create the wealth and success you've always dreamed of? The choice is yours. The power is within you. And now, you know what it takes. Your journey to true wealth begins today.